Good evening, guys, and welcome to our latest edition of the Forest Fans Hub, the platform for you, for viewers, to get involved and give us your opinions and get involved with the chat and the latest going on at Forest at the moment. And with me, as usual, I've got the amazing Joe Cratton. So, evening, Joe. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm good. Cheers, mate. How are you?
Yeah, really good, mate. Really good. We did have other things lined up to talk about today, but there's something's happened over the last 24 hours, which I think we'd be remiss not to mention, and it's fantastic news for a fellow Forest content creator on YouTube. And if you guys don't know already, Mr. Door got an amazing gift from a channel called Mr. Beast, which is by all accounts the biggest YouTube channel there is out at the moment. And he won a what is it, a diamond play button, isn't it? Something like that. An amazing gift anyway, and it's certainly something that came out of the blue, because the guy's got over 114 million subs. So the chances of Door winning that was greater than winning the lottery, to be fair. And yeah, good luck to him. But yeah, Joe, did you see that? And what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I mean, I saw it on Twitter this morning while I was getting ready to go to work, and I wasn't really sure what I was looking at when I first saw it. It's very out of the blue. I had no idea that there was any kind of a giveaway going on at the moment. Otherwise, I'd have probably thrown my hat in the ring. But the fact that it's almost ridiculous that is, the more you narrow it down, the more mental it becomes, really, that it's someone from the UK that's won it is already quite a narrow margin to be able to narrow it down to that. Then down to Nottingham, then down to a Nottingham Forest fan, down to someone that we've met and who probably most likely is the main reason that this channel exists and why we quite like talking about Nottingham Forest so much on YouTube. And we've been on his channel so many times and we're always so grateful to kind of be involved with him. It's just absolutely crazy that we know Mr. Gore personally, and the fact that he's won this award. And I mean, I still can't believe it. It's just crazy.
No, yeah, absolutely. You summed it up beautifully there, and it is crazy because you and I met through his channel. You know, this channel wouldn't exist if it wasn't for the help and support we had from Mr. Door. So Ben, well done, mate. Congratulations, and all the best to you, mate. And I hope you can really maximize and make the most of this, because it's a great opportunity for you. And if we can jump on your coattails, mate, we certainly will, because yeah, you got our support, and you know that. This is the thing that brought us all together is our love of Forest, and you've given us a platform, you've given us the opportunity, and from my own point of view, personal point of view, you gave me the courage. You know, it does take guts to be on here and broadcasting live to our Forest fans out there. And others who might just stumble across the channel. But it's a good opportunity for Door, and hopefully for all us Forest content creators to get people's eyes on us a bit more, and get my name out there. And hopefully, good luck to him. And I thought it definitely deserves a mention, because it's totally, like you said, it's millions and millions to one, for that to happen. And bless him, and all the best to him. And like you said, it's just amazing that we know him, we met him, we converse with him quite often, and he's got an opportunity of a lifetime. And that's best of luck to him, and hope you manage to maximize it, Door, and make the best of it. But back onto what the thumbnail's all about, and our excitement of Scarpa. Well, we'll go into it in more detail, but it doesn't look like we're going to be let down from early indications. As we mentioned backstage, it's the frustration is the lack of information being released by the club, which just leads people to speculate, and that's the last thing we want to do. But Joe, from the sources that we've all seen, what can you tell us about yesterday's game?
I mean, we were talking quite a bit yesterday, trying to see what we could find out about the game, how we could try and keep updated with it. Is it going to be something that they post on their Twitter like they do with normal games, where they're keeping us updated with what's happening there? Is there some way that we can just find out what the score is in live time? But we didn't even get as much as a team sheet sent out before the game, or even updated live who was playing when. So it was quite annoying that we had to all wait until full time, and then all of a sudden we could do a bit of a dive, even though there wasn't really that much there to read into. They kind of just gave you the score and then a little bit of a play-by-play. So that was quite annoying, but I think we were all excited mainly to try and see what our new signing Scarpa was going to do. Was he going to be able to bring anything to that game? Was it going to be one where he's kind of settling in, so you don't really see what he's going to do? But the fact that, I mean, yes, again, there will be people that will look immediately at the result and say, we've lost again to a team that I've never heard of. And they'll kind of focus in on that. But I think the thing that we should be focusing on is that we've brought a bloke in who I can't remember all of the plaudits that he won. All I remember specifically is this year he was holding 2 trophies. So we brought him in, and then we're just trying to see how he's going to fit. And all we can say is he's got 2 assists, and he looked like from what we could read into it anyway, it looked like he was trying to do quite a bit on the ball and looked like quite a creative playmaker. So I think that's something that we need. So it is quite exciting. That's how I read it anyway, but I think everyone's going to have their own different interpretations.
No, I mean, I think on this occasion, because we can't really read too much between the lines, other than the report that they did release, they did heavily emphasize his involvement. So we obviously want the fans to know how well he has done, and I'm really, really excited by it. And like I say, what we don't know is if the whole team was changed second half like it was in the previous friendly, which I believe it was. So, result, obviously, you can't read too much into result in that kind of game. And I think Cooper kind of like said these 2 games will be a bit more mix and match before we get down to the friendlies against Olympiacos and Valencia, which will be a bit more competitive, I would imagine. But either way, like I say, all we can go off is the reports and what we were expecting. And it's great to see that there's some cause for excitement. He's been clearly had an impact on yesterday's game, and he's hit the ground running, which is what I kind of expected, because obviously he's just finished a season. He's not really having to have a pre-season. There's not been a break for him long enough for him to be out of form or out of maybe a little bit of match fitness, but actual fitness he should hopefully have held on to that since their season finished. But yeah, really exciting to see that he's making an impact. And you're right, that's the kind of player we need. We need a player. We certainly need a set piece specialist, because Morgan Gibbs White, he's been a little bit hit and miss this season. We certainly haven't even really threatened from a direct free kick or anything like that. So it'll be interesting to see if he's given the duties, and if he gets, first off, whether he gets into the team come the 1st of January, and secondly, whether he's given those duties when he's on the pitch. I'd imagine he would be, but yeah, he's just one of those players that I've been really excited about and really impressed with the way he's come into the club with his enthusiasm, with a skateboard, all that sort of stuff. You know, he's definitely a character, isn't he? What do you think of him as from his character point of view, outside off the field?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's quite a few other YouTube channels that have kind of gone around, especially what I've seen on Twitter, where they've kind of been talking about it. So I fully agree with pretty much what they're all saying. He does seem like a bit of a lively character. He's definitely a unique guy. And just from what I've seen by following him on Instagram, where he's constantly posting, he seems genuinely happy to be here for a start, which I think is going to be key. The fact that he's come from Brazil to play Premier League football. I mean, hopefully we will still be playing Premier League football at the end of the season going into next year.
Yeah.
But he does genuinely seem happy to be here. He looks like he just wants to play, and he wants to kind of show this is his chance to kind of show the world what he is going to be able to do. So I'm really excited for it, and he definitely does seem, like you said, quite the guy that's going to be almost like a cult hero, hopefully on the pitch, but definitely off the pitch. A lot of people have already taken quite a liking to him, so they just want to see more and more about him. And I can't wait to hopefully actually see him play in the Premier League. I mean, I suppose that's a question that's already been kind of popped up. When do you think he's going to break the mold into the starting lineup, or do you think he's going to be more someone that's going to be an impact sub coming into the Premier League once the World Cup's finished?
Well, personally, from my point of view, I think purely because he's coming in still with that form, and as soon as he's up to speed, I wouldn't hesitate to put him straight in. If he's showing the fitness levels that's people think will be required, I think I'd put him straight in, to be honest. Now, who I'd take out to replace him with, that can be another discussion. But I certainly think if he's raring to go, the confidence is definitely there, you know, and he's here to prove a point. He's on a 3.5-year contract. Yes, that can kind of like make you think we can bed him in a little bit, but I will go with the fact that he's coming off a really hot streak. He's had the best season of his professional career, and he's coming in full of enthusiasm and confidence, and rightly so. And from that point alone, he's going to be a hidden gem as well. You know, I mean, no one's going to know. We're not going to know about him, but opposition aren't really going to be that clued up about him. Yeah, he could be a rabbit in the hat for us, you know. So I would be tempted if the fitness is there, and the match fitness will tell over the next couple of friendlies, hopefully. And like I say, I do believe they'll be a lot more competitive than we've seen so far, and probably less likely to see a full change at halftime, which is again, like I say, we don't know for sure, but it is likely is what happened yesterday. So I think if he comes out of those with no injuries, you know, and he's still looking sharp, I'd be tempted to, once we get into New Year's Day, because we've obviously got the Manchester United game and we've got the Blackburn Cup game as well before that. Yeah, if he can stay fit and if he can show that he's ready to go, I'd put him in. Definitely.
Yeah, I think that Blackburn game coming up first could almost be an interesting place to kind of test him out in the start of the game. Really, I think it could be something where he gets the opportunity.
Yeah, no, unfortunately, I think he can't play a game until January. So
oh, really?
Yeah. So that's why, I was holding off. Otherwise, that's what I said initially, and then it was brought to my attention that he can't actually officially sign until January. Not play again. So he's not even supposed to be. I think somebody said that he can't actually officially train with a squad, but I don't know how that works when he's playing pre-season.
I don't know how that's moderated, but
I don't know about how that works really. But no, if he can't officially play a competitive game until 1st of January. So that's why I would expect that if he's ready and raring to go, that he'll play in that home game against Chelsea on New Year's Day, which will be an amazing atmosphere anyway, and that will just add to the drama even more and the atmosphere even more. So yeah, so we'll have to hold off until then to see him in competitive action. But yeah, he's an exciting player, and it's nice to see that it's got the fans going as well. There's so much excitement amongst the support for him. Not heard anything negative, and something that Wolverines touched on his channel is that the amount of Palmeiras fans that have reached out to him and said so many good things, and that they
Really?
wish he wasn't going. Yeah, it's been an amazing outpour because they've seen the best of him, and that was, like I said, it was the most productive season in their top flight. And he's left on a high, and for his career, it's the move that he wanted. You know, this might be his last big contract. He's got a 3.5 year contract with us, which tells you that he's in for the long haul, and this is probably going to be his last big chance. And I think he's going to take it. If Cooper has a faith in him, I think he'll reward it. And it's just exciting to see such a great player. But like I said, I'm going off obviously the show reels that we've all seen off the form, but as he got stronger and stronger as the season finished, like I say, up the plaudits that he's getting off of Palmeiras fans who were just absolutely gutted to see him go, you know, which, you know, only happens to a player that's really made an impact. So, yeah, I'm really, really impressed by what I've seen of him so far and what I've
Yeah.
from others. And that's what's got me more excited than anything else, to be honest, mate.
I think one of the things that's probably got me quite a lot excited as well, is that interview that he did with Forrest, where he was kind of talking about himself, his inspirations, and his kind of thoughts. And he said who was his favorite player growing up, and the fact that he went and said Ronaldinho Gaucho, who as a kid as well, apart from the 2002 World Cup where he broke my heart, absolutely one of the best players to watch, just because he was a joy to watch. He was always someone you enjoyed watching, and the fact that kind of translated in words to say that he wants to be more of a playmaker. He wants to be someone who's got that creative flair to be able to make something happen out of nothing, and then comes into the first friendly game and creates 2 goals and gets 2 assists in it. I mean, I might be completely shooting into the stars there and almost getting ahead of myself, which I wouldn't say is the first time I've done that on this channel. I'm quite the optimistic here, but I just think that really can give something for people to kind of cling on to and say, yeah, maybe we'd have got something here. Obviously, he's not. I wouldn't expect him to reach that level. If he does, I'd be absolutely elated. But if we do get something just that almost resembles that, and you're kind of seeing it a little bit, I think if we go and touch on the World Cup later on, you're seeing that from some other players in the Brazilian squad at the moment. And I mean, I can't remember if it was Wolverine who said it or someone else that was saying he was kind of he was in that conversation to kind of be part of that squad, which I think is kind of a reach. But I'm really looking forward just to seeing him play and seeing what he's got. But from what I've heard and what I've kind of read at the moment, I think we might have something there that can work. I just really hope it does.
Yeah, and just the more I'm learning about him, his versatility as well. The amount of positions he can actually play and play them well is remarkable. You know, from fullback to defensive midfielder to centre midfielder to a attacking winger, and he plays a number 10 role as well. By all accounts, he's a centre midfielder. That's what his base position is. But he plays all over pitch, and primarily for Palmeiras, he played on the right wing, cutting in on his left foot. So yeah, he's just he's just an exciting player from that point of view as well, from the amount of positions he can play in, and just the options he'll give Cooper. I don't think once he's in, you'll be able to shift him. To be honest, I think he's going to be one of those players. And yeah, I did like that reference he gave to Ronaldinho, because yeah, you're right. He was an absolute showman, and he was great with it as well. You know, he's one of those players that and he got the opportunity to play with him, didn't he, at Fluminense, was it? So for a season or so. So his dreams came true, obviously, doing that. But you're right. I mean, that's an inspiring player. And if he can be anything like that, you know, we've got a little gem on our hands. But yeah, all good from what I can see. It's just the frustration that we've all shared. Is just the lack of information on those friendlies. When we've got such a avid fan base, we want to know every minute of every game, and when we're not hearing what's going on, it can cause frustration, and I think that's a real bad move from the club. So hopefully that doesn't happen again, and they'll address it in the future, and the next two friendlies will at least be able to see or follow in real time with the action during the field during the game. So yeah, no, great things coming from Scarpa, but I don't think we're going to be disappointed by him, to be honest, and not to put too much pressure on him. I think he's going to be but another one that because we're all a few of us now I've mentioned over the last couple of months about whether he'd get in the team or not, and now it's from various sources coming out about he was never going to play for us at all, and he may never play for us before he leaves, and that's Vardy. Really, like Vardy, really strange reports coming out saying that once Cooper decided he wasn't for him, that they came to an agreement with his parent club that he wouldn't get played until and sent back in January, which obviously goes with the FIFA rulings, UEFA rulings about how many clubs you can play for within a given season. So if he had played for us, even one competitive game, they couldn't loan him out to another club. So that's what apparently is what's going to happen. What are your thoughts on it? Because I'm frustrated that he wasn't given the opportunity, and I don't know what Cooper didn't see in him to not give him an opportunity. So yeah, what have you seen of it, and what do you think of that situation?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen these glimpses of what's been reported out, and they've slowly started to come out with more details as time's gone on. It just seems odd that he was loaned out to us. It almost seems like he was loaned out to us, and then someone all of a sudden had a change of heart, like somewhere down the line, whether it was Cooper saying that he didn't want to start him, whether it was someone that got loaned in that he wasn't really interested in, so he just never wanted to start him. He'd rather stick with his core of players that he's more invested in and building a team around, which is why they then wanted to have him back. Or if it was a personal choice of his or the parent club that he's at the moment. It's something that we just don't know yet. And I don't know if we ever will know, if I'm honest, but it is definitely a frustrating one. That I think it kind of came out in October that he was never going to play for us. So then he's just been sat on our. He couldn't even sit on the bench, really, could he? He's just been sat watching from home and trying to get involved. I mean, we saw him play in the friendly game against Stoke, and that's probably the one and only time that we're going to see him play in the red. And then he's been loaned straight back out again to another club. So a unique one that I've definitely not seen before. I don't think that we'll probably see anything like that. Hopefully with us again, because it is frustrating. We all kind of had high hopes and did our research on him and looked at like he could be someone that hopefully we would get on with this year, and then we'd look forward to trying to progress with him further down the line. But that's not the case here, and it is in a position where we do need that strength. And I think if we were able to play him this year, especially with the injuries that we've had in that position, it could have changed a couple of results that might have taken us out of relegation. But that's just the way it's gone, and we can't look back on it now. We've just got to say that it's done. It is annoying, but we've just got to look forward and just keep looking forward now from until the end of the season and see what we can do then.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of touched on my frustration about the whole thing, the fact that it's a position we've been struggling in. We obviously lost Niakate early on, and Worrell was dropped. Clearly, he was dropped because of whether it's for his performances or whether it's for other issues. But he was dropped for a period, and then we're relying on Cook and McKenna, who their frailties have been clear to see. So from that point of view, it's a real frustration that he was never given that opportunity. And it also adds fuel to the fire about the claims early on that the signings weren't all Cooper's signings, and that kind of makes sense with Vardy, for example. He came in pretty late in the window, didn't he? He wasn't an early signing or I mean, it wasn't a long window anyway; it was a very short window as it was. But I'm sure it came close towards the end of it, and yeah, it makes you think that not all these signings are Coopers. It's just frustrating, like I say, purely from the point of view that we've been struggling at centre back. There's absolutely no doubt about it. And obviously, we've got Biancone out for the whole of the season as well. Obviously, they've come to some sort of agreement, and you'd think that we'd have somebody else lined up because we still don't know when Niakarte's back, and that's something again. The club really, there's a few things there's a lot they can learn. Obviously, every club can be learning all the time, but certainly when it comes to releasing news on certain players, Omar Richards, when's the last time we had an update on him? And Niakarte, we were told, he's out until January. He's out until 2023. Now, when in 2023? If it's looking like it's going to be past the transfer window, then surely we've got to be looking at getting a pacey central defender in there because we've struggled. I don't think our main issue has been scoring goals. Our main issue, and you saw it at the games that you joined me to. We took the lead in those games, but we couldn't hold on. I think our defense needs more attention than our strike force. So if we were only to buy, and I was asked this hypothetically, if we could only sign in one position, who would you look for? And I'd say a centre back, a pacey centre back. I'd spend good money on that. And I think we have got Cooper will have a decent war chest to play with coming into this January transfer window because I don't think Marinakis is going to take any chances. This is I've said this before. And I know certain fans have talked about, if we go down, we'll come back up. There's no guarantee of that. You know that, I know that. 23 years has told us that. But always fight from a position of strength. We're in the Premier League. Let's fight to stay in it. Not think about what we're going to do if we go down and have to come back up because it's the wrong mentality. And I don't think it's the defeatist mentality that some fans have had, and I think it's definitely changed with those last two results before the World Cup break. Because if we didn't get 4 points out of those two games, we'd be in a lot worse off position. Would have been bottom of the table, and as we know, going into Christmas, a team bottom of the table, even though it's a truncated first part of the season, doesn't tend to stay up. So from that point of view, psychologically, it was important for us to get those results. But it doesn't change anything really in the long term because we have to drag ourselves away from a relegation zone and then start looking forward and do it in stages. Absolutely. And I think, like I said, those 4 points were vital to us achieving that. But the investment has to come, and I don't think he'll pull his punches. I think he'll do what's necessary to try and keep us in. And I think that's the best way to look at it, rather than planning ahead for what would happen if we get relegated. How do you feel about that, Joe?
Yeah, I agree. I think the way that I hope that he approaches it anyway, is that he does go with that mentality of not pulling his punches and thinking, right, I should only really sign players based on the contingency that if we do go down, they're not going to immediately want to go away and we have to sell them on for a loss, or have to then sell them on and then bring someone on who's more of a championship level back to what we were signing 2-3 years ago. I think that he will try, and he's not going to obviously break the bank to go for it and get the best of the best to try and get us propelled straight back up the league like we were hoping when we were seeing all the signings coming in the summer, and we all had a bit of a think and said, oh, maybe we've got something that could work here. I think he is going to hopefully just focus on probably 3 to 4 players, Scarpa being one of those probably already, a centre-back, like you said, that we desperately need, another option just for a striker, just to try and give a bit more rotation play up there, and then maybe just someone who can then fill more of a role of a rotation play, just in case we do have more injuries that crop up and throw us really back under the bus. Yeah. I think that's the way that it probably will go. And I think centre back is definitely the one that he has to make sure that he focuses on the most. Like you said, the amount of games that we've been in the lead, especially at home, and then thrown it away against teams who are in our kind of competition there towards the bottom half of the league. It's just not something that we're going to be able to do on a whim and expect to be able to bounce back from it. There are 6-point swings, those games, where if you lose it, you are massively under the cosh then for the rest of the season. So we really have to focus on trying to win those games. And the way that we have won our games this season have been 1-0s, just scraping by. And then, like I think I've probably said a couple of times before the season starts, or some way through the season, Dean Henderson, being one of our key signings, has kept us in those games, all of them pretty much. A penalty save against West Ham, some great saves against Liverpool to keep us in that game. Fair play, he didn't really have to do anything at all against Crystal Palace when we won that game, because the penalty was just a wide shot and then they didn't have another shot on target. But it is just something that we have to focus on. We know we're not going to be able to score goals at will like we did last season. Obviously, bringing in some more strike force up front is going to be able to help us with that. But there's no point scoring 2 or 3 goals like we already have done this season if we're then going to ship them back at the other end and not protect our own goal. So centre back has to be the key signing, really. And then hopefully the creativeness that we might be able to get from Scarpa is then going to unlock some new potential that we've already seen up front, where we kind of seem a little bit lethargic. We're not quite building anything up there. We've got all of the guys that are able to produce something at the end, but they're just not getting anything to them. So hopefully that will help unlock that. And then if we can just keep clean sheets week after week, then the worst that's going to come out of it is we get a point and we just keep on trotting along and just keep on building up that points tally slowly to then get us into a position where we're out of the relegation zone. We don't have to worry about that. And we can then focus more on building again next season. So that's how I see it. And then hopefully people agree, and hopefully the guys up at the top seats and the Forest recruitment staff will also see it like that.
Yeah, I'd agree with you, and certainly, from what I summarised, you're saying probably about not including, excuse me, not including Scarpa, who we've got already, probably about 3 more players that they'd be looking to bring in. And yeah, I think I'd probably agree with you on that. And the other key thing is that we need to keep Mangala fit. He's what I'd like to see. I would like to see a change of formation, but it's vital that we get Niakate back for us to play 4 out of the back. So I want to play 4-2-3-1 ideally, but to play 2 in central midfield, you need a pacey centre back. So for that to happen, I need Niakate in the team. So when he's going to be, let's hope it's sooner rather than later. But 4-2-3-1 would be and the 2 I'd have in front of a defence would be Freuler and Mangala, ideally, for me. And then give Scarpa, Morgan Gibbs-White, and you can say Lingard actually on form going into the break. And they can all play number 10 and they can all play wide. That just gives us such fluidity in that attacking third. And for me, they've got to have a central striker. Because one thing we have seen with Scarpa from his clips is that he whips a mean ball in, whether it's from a dead ball or from open play. He needs a target. And I stick with Taiwo. I think he needs to run the games. There's been a bit of criticism for him, but I genuinely don't believe he's had a real run of games that would give him the confidence to push forward. And he's done well when he has been given his chance, and he's played a couple of games in a row. That's what would be ideal for me. But like I said, there's provisos in there. You have to have Niakate back and fit, because you've got to have pace in that centre back position, and for that to work. But yeah, keeping Mangala fit would be a key as well. And if not, then we've got to be looking at maybe some sort of covering that position as well. But yeah, it's exciting, and I do believe that he will spend the money if the right players are there. So let's just hope the scouters do their job, recruitment team do their job, and where it's needed. Because we have got a good squad. I'll go back to it. It's taken them a while to settle, which was inevitable. We didn't need hindsight to really tell us that, but obviously we had the rose-tinted glasses on. So we were all thinking, no, it's going to work. It's going to work for us. We're not going to be like other clubs where it's going to take them that long to settle, but it has done. And but we've definitely seen shoots, and we've seen improvement in where the players are getting to know each other and how they seem to be bonding on and off the pitch. And that just needs to be taken a couple of steps further, and we'll see that we have got a really good squad. They have recruited well, bar the one or two that not got a chance, and obviously the injuries can't be helped. Recruitment has been good, so let's hope it comes to fruition over the next few months certainly, and gives us a chance to pull away from that. I just want to pull away initially, and then whatever happens after that happens. But I think we've given ourselves a chance, and the fans certainly went into the break with some enthusiasm. Let's come out of it with that enthusiasm intact. But yeah, we've gone over what we were really going to talk about regarding Forest. Is there any other points that or any other things that you've seen over the last week or so that you wanted to bring up, Joe?
Probably not so much in terms of Forest specific news, where we're kind of focusing more on the friendlies or any kind of transfer rumours or what's been happening. I think probably the only other point I'd probably make is what you were saying about players and kind of their formations, and specifically how you want to kind of line up in that midfield with the two. I think if we were to try and stick with what we've been doing at the back end before the World Cup break, where we were playing that three in midfield, I think something like that could be quite exciting. Unfortunately, right at the beginning of the World Cup, we did have the injury to Cheka Kouyaté, which is a shame. I feel that is going to be kind of an impact. I don't know. I've not seen any kind of news that's come out of that since, in terms of what kind of injury that we're looking at there and a length of time until he's recovered and fit. But that could potentially open the door, if we're looking at a silver lining, to playing a three in midfield of Freuler, and then playing, like you said, playing Mangala there, and then hopefully playing like a Lewis O'Brien or a Ryan Yates there. And I think one thing that we have to take from looking at the World Cup is Freuler's not a central defensive midfielder. If we play all of those three more as like a three midfield, and they're just aware of what they're all doing, they don't all push up at the same time, and they don't all sit back. But if we play with a bit more fluidity in there, I think we could be onto. I think we've been missing a trick by playing him solely as a central defensive midfielder of someone who's going to sweep up, pick up any passes that are trying to break through our back line, and then trying to unlock some longer passes down. I think we have missed something without him being able to kind of push further up the pitch. So hopefully, if there's anything that we can take from Forest players who have been at the World Cup, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, they're all back or should be all back now. They don't have any more games to play, so there's no more possible injuries that can come to our players. That is something that we can hopefully look at doing with those three in midfield. I think who we've got at the moment who are available and fit. So you've got Freuler, you've got Mangala, you've got Yates, you've got O'Brien. They're all players who can offer something like that. They all seem to be, especially the latter three, they're all young, they're all got lots of energy, they've all got a lot to give on the pitch, and from when we've seen them, they all do give everything, and they leave everything on the pitch. They don't get subbed off until they've absolutely got nothing left. So if we can use those three effectively in the midfield and try and take over the midfield in the games that we do play, that's something that was missing, especially in those games when we were playing two in the midfield and we lost after taking the lead. We'd just get absolutely swamped in the midfield, and all of a sudden we'd let one goal in, and then it'd become 2 and 3 in rapid succession. So if we can use those more effectively and make that midfield pretty much ours for the entire 90 minutes, if you have to make a couple of subs, then you can bring on one from that who's list of 4 who aren't going to be on the starting lineup, and then possibly someone else that you can bring in the January transfer window. That could be something that we hopefully are going to look at.
Yeah, you're right. You reminded me, because we talked about this a few streams back, about how the three in midfield that we all wanted to see and we hadn't seen so far was Freuler, Mangala, and O'Brien, wasn't it? And you're right. Gives us the opportunity see that. I was just thinking from a more attacking point of view, that would be a formation I go with 4-2-3-1. But you're right, we looked a lot more solid when we had the right midfielders in there. But what I was always confused with, or what I didn't expect, was to see the role that Kouyaté and Freuler played was the opposite to what I expected. You know, so like you said, they had Freuler in the CDM position, and we've seen for Switzerland in the World Cup, he's played more further forward of the pitch, and he's had a really great impact with an assist and a goal. A pass that led to an assist and a goal during the tournament, and he looked really comfortable in that position. But also, there's a proviso that the speed of the Premier League and the speed of international football, there's a big difference. So whether playing a bit further forward would be something that he'd struggle with at Premier League level is something we'd probably have to wait and see. But you're right, I'd like to see that three in midfield as well. You know, it's something that we did kind of were crying out for, and we didn't get the opportunity to see. And if it hadn't been for Mangala sending off against Spurs in the Cup, we probably would have seen it in the Palace game. So yeah, no, you're right to bring that up, because that was something that we were kind of calling for, weren't we? So yeah. In terms of the World Cup, is there anything you want to bring up on that? Because from my point, we've got the quarter-final lineup now, haven't we? And it's got better. I'll be honest. I know most of our viewers know that I wasn't really too enamored about the World Cup, not really looking forward to it, or not really getting into it. But it's certainly heated up, and it's certainly got my interest over the last week or so. And really looking forward to these quarter-final games, and it's going to be a tough one to call, I think. What your views and what you've seen so far, Joe?
I mean, I think the group stages is unparalleled in comparison to any other tournament football I've seen, especially that I've seen personally. Some people might bring up other tournaments before I was born that I wouldn't know about without researching them. But the fact that no team won all three games already as a standalone is incredible. The amount of upsets that we saw, normally you see maybe one. I think at the World Cup in Russia, the fact that they went on so far seemed a bit almost beyond belief. It was kind of something that where just the home crowd was carrying them. And then I think the only other one that I can really call back to is South Korea and Japan, where they just got through and they beat, I think it was Spain and Italy. You might correct me if I'm wrong on that. I think the fact that they got so far, but it was always one team. But we've seen so many different teams, mainly all from like the African and Arabic nations, that have all kind of shown that they're not just there to make up the numbers. It has made almost every single game exciting to watch. The amount of times that I've kind of looked at the lineup and I've kind of thought, oh, it's Uruguay versus Ghana. Why would I be interested in watching that? It was just incredible. Every single game, apart from probably the England versus USA one that I watched, where I think I would have rather watched what my girlfriend was doing at the time, which was painting the walls. I would literally have rather watched the paint dry on those walls. Every other game that I've watched has just been so fascinating. So whether that means that we then kind of look at this World Cup and all the politics that kind of go to it in a different light, or if it's something that's then going to stick with it even more, because now this World Cup probably is going to be unforgettable for a lot of people now, just because of what's happened both on and off the pitch. It's going to be something that everyone remembers for decades to come. In terms of what comes up for the next games, the quarterfinals onwards, I can't call it. I literally cannot. Obviously, I'd love to see England go through. I think every single game now is pretty much, you can't really guarantee someone's going to win a game, because we've already seen almost every team that's left get upset at some point or the other. I mean, I don't think there is any team that's kind of shown that they are just going to be able to beat anyone, because everyone has already shown that they can be beaten by someone. Apart from, I don't even think there is anyone that is left that kind of looks like they are just unbeatable, and it's going to take an absolute gargantuan effort to be able to take them out. I think it could go any way, and that is just really exciting. The only problem is the England game being on Saturday is the same day and pretty much the exact same time that my work's Christmas do is going on. So everyone's just going to be sat around eating dinner, and then as soon as the game comes on, no one's going to be talking or asking about what we're all doing. Everyone's just going to be on their phones watching the game. So it's just a case of waiting to see.
It's going to be it's going to be a very different Christmas party, isn't it? But yeah, I think that's probably we're all tough to call. Yeah, you're right. I mean, it's the most competitive World Cup I've seen in a long time, and no teams out of it. And it's great to see some of the smaller nations getting their results, getting their limelight, and seeing the ones that I've got through so far. As I don't want to jinx anybody, so I'm not going to mention any team, because every team that I seem to have backed so far has gone by the wayside. But it's been a really tough World Cup to call. You know, I don't think anyone would have won that predict the World Cup challenge. It's been one of the most unpredictable World Cups that I've seen in my lifetime as well. I mean, I can't remember. I obviously can remember back further than yourself, but it has really stood out. You know, certainly got piqued my interest anyway, because I wasn't really feeling it at all. But it's definitely got better, and really hopefully gets remembered for all the right reasons. You know, and like I say, I think there's a couple more upsets to come before the end of it, and no one's going to be able to predict really who's going to win. So as long as it's exciting, that's the main thing. You know, it's a world audience. It's we all have our favourites. We all have the teams that we'd like to see win when our team gets knocked out. But as long as it's competitive and it's entertaining, that's all you can really ask for from a World Cup, isn't it? More than anything else. But yeah, definitely enjoying how it's going, and we'll be looking forward to the quarterfinals and seeing who manages to get through to the semis. But it's been a great World Cup so far. But yeah, we've got Mai, if you're still there, can you pin the you got it in there? Yeah, the StreamYard link. So we've got something else we want to highlight today as well. So you guys will be aware, hopefully you'll be aware as well, but our own Eve has had her pictures, her fantastic artwork turned into a calendar, and it's all going in the cause of D Fribs. I'll get the name of it right somewhere, but we put the link in there. We're going to get Eve on soon, and she can come on and tell you all about it. But yeah, guys, if any way we can support it, it'll be such a great cause. And obviously, Eve's one of our own, and anything we can do to support what she's done. And shout out to Malcolm as well for helping make this happen for her. And yeah, let's support our Eve and get buying those calendars, guys. And we'll put it in the description how you can get a hold of them. And there's a link to Malcolm's Twitter where you can see more information as well on how to get hold of a calendar for yourself. So is she waiting at all, or either you in the chat? Yeah, oh, come on, she's in there. Yeah, so yeah, hopefully Eve will jump on with us soon, and she'll be able to. Hopefully she's got a copy of one on her and she can actually show us. But definitely, guys, get involved. One of the things about this Forest families, we've been so supportive of each other, and let's support one of our own as well. It's something that Eve obviously enjoys doing, as we know, because we're usually lucky enough to see the premieres of most of her pictures, and it's really great to see that she's enjoying it, and definitely getting the support from the Forest family and others behind the scenes to help her get her work out to others as well, to be able to share her passion. So Joe, have you had the chance to have a look at any of the calendars?
I haven't, I'm afraid. Yeah, I know we put in the we were on Twitter talking to Eve about it, and we've kind of had a quick look with all the links to make sure that we can get everything shouted out so everyone can get involved with having a look and hopefully getting their own copies, especially for such a good cause. I'm definitely going to be grabbing a copy myself, and I'll make sure that it's somewhere on this wall, so it's not just me and my certificate behind me. I'll definitely have it there representing for us. So
as long as they're straight, mate, I don't think you'll have any problems, mate. But make sure they are straight, because otherwise.
Oh yeah. I've got plenty of different spirit levels and laser lines around. So I'll definitely be able to make sure that it's definitely level.
There's a question from Dean in the chat, and it's basically asking who is our core for the World Cup winner. Do you want to go on this one, Joe? Because I don't want to jinx anyone. I know what I'd like to do. I don't want to jinx anyone.
I mean, I made a prediction. Obviously, everyone does their own prediction. You can kind of get these websites where you can pick where you think everyone's going to finish in their groups, and then you see how the knockout brackets then going to start looking. You can then start to piece it together after that. And after I did that, I came out with a team that is still left. Quite a lot of teams that I did pick aren't left anymore. But the team that I did pick is, and unfortunately, it is the team that if they were to win, they'd have to knock England out in the next stage, which is France. I just think the fact that they've got injuries out like Benzema, Pogba, and Kante, and they're just getting replaced by players who are. I mean, the fact that Olivier Giroud's come back to become France's all-time goal scorer, and he's just scoring almost for fun. And then you can bring in players like Chouameni in the midfield. They just have class everywhere on the pitch. That's just impossible to kind of beat. It's not like they've got a couple of players who are carrying the team through, and then the rest of them are still then just making up the numbers, but being more of a team resemblance. They have 11 individuals who can start on that pitch who are absolutely world class, and they also work really well as a team. I just think it's going to take something monumental for us to beat them at the weekend. I hope we do it, but that's who I predicted to win, and I still think they can go all the way and win it.
Okay, all you England fans out there, you can thank me after this because I'm going to jinx the team. So that's guaranteed, but you guys are going to get through. But yeah, France over team. If I'm going to say anyone, it's going to be France, because I just think not only are they in the top peak of their form at the moment, I think that's going to be the case for the next few tournaments. You know, I think they're just going to get stronger and stronger and stronger. So for the sake of Ant and all you England fans out there, I'm going to jinx France. So you can put your money on England winning now. Because, yeah, I think I did say whoever wins this game, I think will win the World Cup. That was my prediction that I did make. I'm going to do you guys a favor. Yeah, I'm jinxing France. So I think I'm going to back France to win, which means they're not going to win. They're going to get dumped out. Okay, so I've done you all a favor. And that was just for you, mate. So hope you appreciate that, definitely. But yeah, it's been a good World Cup, and I genuinely think that the winner of that game is going to win the World Cup. That's my predictions over. I'm not jinxing anybody else. But yeah, Andrew's just mentioned Portugal. Portugal were very impressive yesterday.
Yeah,
really,
I think the fact that they're I can't remember. Is it Goncalo Ramos?
Yeah,
got a hat trick in his first start. Has already brought a lot of different perspectives into the light. Is Ronaldo really the one that's been holding them back the whole time? Also, we were linked with him back in the January transfer window, and now all of a sudden his stock is just going to go through the roof. So I think we can write that one off immediately and see that as another one that we've missed out on.
Yeah, I think so as well. Yeah, but yeah, I say they tore them apart. You know, they didn't really give them a chance to get back into the game at any point. So yeah, they look very impressive as well. But yeah, I'm gonna I'm not mentioning that team because I've got links, so I don't want to jinx them. I think Ant's trolling me on that one. But yeah, Ant, I did you a favor, mate. I said France are gonna win, so yeah, England will go through. Is Eve, are you ready yet? Is she waiting backstage yet?
Yes.
Yeah. Let's
Give
bring
us
her
a thumbs
around.
up. You ready, Eve? Here we go.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
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 Are you doing all right?
Yeah, I'm okay. Yeah.
Got your headphones on, I can see.
Yeah, my mum and dad. My mum's just in her bedroom next door, so she's been a bit loud, you know, sorting things out. So I thought to myself, you know, it's better if I have my headphones on. So
you're all good. Whatever you're comfortable with. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm okay. Yeah.
So I noticed you said in chat you haven't got a copy of a calendar with you, have you?
No, not yet. But I'm going to be I'll probably be getting a copy on Saturday, and I think some of them are going to be sold at the game before, when it's, for the home game against Chelsea. So maybe the day before that, I can show what the calendar looks like as well. Yeah.
Certainly, yeah. I mean, we'll put some pictures up there for guys to have a look as well. Joe's doing all the technical stuff behind the scenes for us. It really looks fantastic, and it's brilliant because I remember you when you first told us about it, and that it was in the pipeline, and it's something that obviously Malcolm supported you with. Do you? Sorry, I was going to say, like, have you managed to speak to Malcolm over the last couple of days? Because I think they're doing a Christmas party, aren't they? And so we're going to. That's in a couple of days. So that's not far off. I think we're going to start selling them there from whatever's left over. But there's a link that we'll put in the description how you guys can get a hold of one directly before they're on release at the party or at the. Hopefully, whatever's left over will be brought to the Chelsea game, and there's also ways that you can get in contact with Malcolm on the day and pick up a copy if you don't manage to get one before that. But there is a way you can order it online, and you can either get it posted to you with a paper postage fee, or you can pick it up for free. So you can order yours online, guys, and the links are there. How excited are you about it, Eve?
Yeah, I'm really excited. Yeah, I'm really excited. And I can help my friend Amanda out as well, because it's her charity. So, and that I'm helping to raise money for, and autism as well. So, yeah.
Well, tell us more about the charities involved, Eve. Who are raising money for through this?
Amanda Steve Phibbs charity. So Amanda Steve Phibbs charity. So Amanda helps to get D Phibbs like to grassroots football. So, to grassroots football. So and it was when Malcolm suggested the idea to me, I thought it was a really good idea, and to have some drawings for a calendar and to raise funds for two charities. So
what's the autism charity that you're raising money for?
I'm raising money. I've got it on my phone. Let me just check. I'm raising money for this one. I'll just find it.
On the link there. Yeah.
I'm going to be raising money for the National Autistic Society. So
fantastic. Yeah, really great causes. So guys, get involved. In support of DFIS for grassroots football and autism charity that Eve's just mentioned. And it's all fantastic causes, and it's really great to be able to support one of our own. And guys, get behind it, and please support. Get yourselves a copy for yourselves, and anything you want, anybody you want to gift to family members, or stocking fillers, and things like that would be really great. And all the money is going to the causes. So yeah, please get involved, guys. It'll be really great. Eve, have you got any news on getting to any games in the new year yet? Have you got anything in?
I'm not sure I can go to the game against Chelsea because it is on New Year's Day, and I don't think people who work with me will want to take me on New Year's Day. So I think that's out of the question for me. But I'm going to see if I can get to the home game against Leicester. But if I can't go to that, I'll definitely be coming to the home game against Manchester City in February.
Yes. That'd be great. Yeah, that's a big one to look forward to, isn't it? Yeah. Definitely big. It's been an amazing season so far. So let's hope you can get to as many games as you can, because you deserve to experience it. And it was great. I mean, the first game was it the Liverpool game that you came to, and we got 3 points against Liverpool, obviously.
Yeah, I came to that game. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good day. So you're a good luck charm. So yeah, but we need a few more to get you back on. But yeah, Eve, is there anything else you want to mention? Anything else you want to talk about, or you looking forward to as the season restarts? Any players you're looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to seeing the new signing, Scarpa. I'm looking forward to seeing him, and I'm just hoping that the team, I'm just hoping that we win a few more, that we win some more games and draw some more games and lose a lot less in 2023. So yeah, I'm just hoping that that the team just do well and that we manage to stay in the Premier League.
Yeah, that's what we're all hoping for, by hook or by crook, as long as we manage to stay up this first season, that's the most important thing. And I don't care if it happens on the last second of the last game of the last of the end of the season. As long as we stay up, that's all that matters. But it's been exciting so far, and there's been a few surprises along the way. And I dare say there's going to be a few more upsets before the end of the season. We'll surprise a few more teams, but let's hope. Let's hope we do. But yeah, thank you for your time, Eve, as always.
Yes, can I show a couple of drawings I did a couple of weeks ago?
I was just about to ask you, have you got any drawings that you want to show?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. So I did I did 2 drawings of the outside the city ground. I'll just quickly show what one of the drawings is. One of the pictures I copied. Because I don't know if you've heard of the NFFC Lilo before on Twitter.
I've heard it mentioned. Yes, I think I've seen a drawing you did a while ago as well.
Yeah. Well, the NFFC Lilo asked me to draw a couple of pictures for that outside the city ground. So the first one they asked me to draw was that one. I don't know if you can see it.
Bring it more towards the middle of the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. Thank you.
Yep, and this is the one, and I did that one.
Oh wow!
I did that.
That's amazing. That's really great.
Can you see all of it?
Yeah, absolutely. That's great. How long did that take you, Eve?
About 2 days or 3 days to do.
That's fantastic. That's really, really great. Because
there was another drawing I did as well. They also requested me to draw this one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
on the bridge and the river.
Yeah.
So I did that, and that's on the next page. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah. Just bring it a bit more forward. Push it forward a bit more.
Like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Oh, that's amazing, guys! Give Eve a shout out in the chat, guys, because it's amazing work. Because all this, you've only started doing it a little while ago, didn't you, Eve? Certainly since we've had this channel up and running. It wasn't long before you started doing your pictures, and you just you obviously love doing it, and 2, you can see that they're getting better and better. Not that any of them were bad to begin with, but you certainly can see that your style's changing and it's adapting, and you've obviously getting a lot of help from Becky, isn't it? That's been supporting you with your.
Yeah, but recently Becky has been a bit busy, so I've been doing them, but mostly by myself. But she's given me like a few tips on how to do. If I get a bit stuck, I message her, and she tells me if I've done something wrong, or she tells me she shows me something on WhatsApp, like if I need to do something, like, so she uses a blue line, what I've done. So, and then she says to do something straight, and so yeah.
But she's clearly been really supportive, and you've definitely learned a lot from her, and it's great you can do it on your own now. She's done her job, hasn't she? Supporting you and educating you. So yeah, really, really great, and keep it up. Eve, it makes you happy. Do it for yourself. Always do it for yourself, as long as it keeps making you happy. And you've seen the amount of love that you get from the Forest family who support your work.
I will do it for myself. And I might draw some other pictures that are not Nottingham Forest related, like, because there's I live near 2 beaches, so I might like take some pictures of the beaches when it's not crowded, and then draw the beaches that I live near.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah, no, that's what I used to draw. I used to draw nature and things like that. So it's a lot. You can obviously add your own style to whatever artwork
and I
you
would love
do.
to draw some animals as well, because I remember back during like 2020, because I think it was like just after the first lockdown when people could see each other, and my sister-in-law was like working with me, and I remember once being at my brother and my sister-in-law's house, and we had a little competition about drawing pictures, and like we were like making like new Pokemon, and I tried to draw a cheetah, and I couldn't even draw the cheetah very well, and I had to ask my sister-in-law to draw it for me because I couldn't even get it right. So I'm determined to draw like some animals, like a cheetah, to see if I can actually draw one.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, test yourself out, test out your capabilities, and you can always improve, and we always can get better. So yeah, definitely do what keeps you happy and what you enjoy doing it. And like I say, you didn't put yourself under any pressure to get this calendar out, but you managed to get it out, and fantastic. It'll be out in the shop. So guys, any way you can support Eve and support the causes that we're raising money for, please do so. And like I say, the links of descriptions in the link is in the description. So guys, please do everything you can to support our Eve. And Eve, keep doing what you're doing, and thank you for sharing it with us. And yeah, definitely anytime we do a live stream and you're available, please jump on and share your artwork with us and share your enthusiasm with us. And
before the Chelsea game, can I show like all the pages of the calendar? And because I will have one on, I'll probably have one on Saturday, so I could. So like if people, who watch this stream, want to get one before the Chelsea game, then I could like show them like what the pages look like. So
absolutely, yeah, no problem whatsoever. We'll definitely get that done before. Certainly we're going to stream before the Chelsea game. So yeah, we'll get you one. You get it this Saturday, yeah. So yeah, we'll definitely do that, and yeah, we can show everyone. But there are links there where you can have a look on Twitter and see what pictures are on there as well. But yeah, certainly, Eve. So when we next do a stream, we'll get you one certainly.
Yeah.
Again, thanks for your time, Joe. Is there anything you want to add?
No, I think that's it's a perfect way to finish it off there with such a great cause, and I think everyone's really getting involved with it. Definitely everyone here, part of our community in the chat, and I really hope it does get out to the wider audience that we're able to kind of extend it out to, because it is brilliant what you've done. Everyone that's seen it at the moment can see what a brilliant job that you've done with all of those pictures, and I think it's a great way of bringing them all together. So yeah, I think it's just the best way to finish it off. We'll make sure that all the links are available in the chat and in the description for this video, and we'll share it out on our social media and everything. So thank you very much for joining us as always, Eve. Always a pleasure, and always one that we can rely on who's going to be able to join us. So thank you very much for taking time to have a talk with us today, and thanks to everyone who's been part of the chat. We've been pretty consistent with everyone that's been in here, so thank you so much for all taking your time to I mean, there's not any football that's been on tonight to watch instead of this, so hopefully we've been a good replacement, as you've not been able to watch any World Cup games. And yeah, I can't wait to be back again to be talking more about Forest as we get ready for the season kicking back off again.
Definitely. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, it was a great way to end the show. Thank you guys for all your engagement. And thank you for your time as well. And hopefully we've kept you entertained for how long we've been going, just over an hour or so. So yeah, thank you for your time. And we'll do this again soon. So keep a lookout for any announcements that we do on Twitter and other social media channels. And we'll be seeing you guys soon in the next week or so. Thank you, Joe, for your time as always. And thank you, Omar, in the background, for helping us out as always. You're an absolute star, my friend, and everybody who's joined with the chat. Eve, we're so proud of you. So thank you for everything that you've done, and thank you for your contributions as well. We'll see you out, guys, and yeah, see you again soon. Come on, you Reds.
Birthday